Howdy y'all, Joe Hills here, and I've established a small base in the tacos area, and I guess the most important things to point out about it are that it currently does not connect to the tacos, and that there's a cast that's hanging out directly there. Okay, well, so there's that. I've been hanging out at the cobblestone generator. Dang it. Why is my shift button suddenly not working? Oh, God. Okay, so I've been hanging out at the cobblestone generator in preparation for this, since I know it's going to be quite the trip out there. And then even once I get there, I'm going to be in gassed spawner country, which is patently unfriendly, for those of y'all who do not know. I am only now beginning to realize how large, in fact, this taco dungeon is, as I grow near it. Look at that. That's massive. That shell, that's got to be at least 40 blocks. I vastly underestimated the size of this taco dungeon, and I worry that it is going to be very difficult, being as it is one of the last dungeons in the last area of this map. So anyway, yesterday night I went down to Huntsville, Alabama, where I got to hang out with the cool guys who make the podcast The Shaft, which is about Minecraft, you know, Minecraft, Mineshaft. Anyway, it's a pretty big podcast, and they're really cool guys. Eric Fullerton, Brent Copeland, and Wes Wilson. I've been following their work for a while. They also make a TF2 podcast called Control Point that I've been listening to for probably 3 or 4 years now. I don't know. They've been around a while. And so it was really cool that I got invited to go on their show to talk about this video series. So if any of y'all are new listeners who came in because of The Shaft, I want to let you know that I appreciate your presence. I'm glad to have y'all. And if y'all aren't part of the Shaft community and have been watching my videos from the beginning, or found me otherwise, I want to let you know that I appreciate that too. And if you get the chance, though, you should be able to go to actually go to theshaftpodcast.com. I don't know. Google it, and you'll find the latest. It should be episode 44, I believe, that has me talking on it. And I was also on this week's episode of Control Point, which was, I believe, episode 104, 105. I honestly don't remember. Oh no, gassed. Anyway, so I was on both shows, and I had a lot of fun on both shows, and I think I was pretty entertaining on both shows. It's kind of like when you leave a test, and you're like, oh man, I aced that. So, you don't necessarily know if you really aced it or not, but that's certainly how I feel. I feel like I got on those shows, and I was funny, and I think y'all would enjoy it. If you enjoy watching me play this and talk, you'd probably enjoy me talking on there too, especially because them fellas are a lot more entertaining than me, or possibly entertaining in different and new and exciting ways that I think y'all might enjoy. So, might be something to look into. And I'm almost at the doorstep of this taco dungeon here. So it looks like the lava is beginning to spread as I approach the dungeon, which means that them blocks have not been updated yet, which could be all sorts of trouble that I have not prepared for yet, so we'll see. Honestly, whoops, gassed. I don't think I'm actually within range of those gas spawners yet, because they're not on fire and spinning, but I'm certainly getting close. So that's going to be a concern as well. Dang it. So, let's see. What did we talk about on the Shaft this week? We talked about the Bethesda thing. We talked about, they've got a segment called Excavation Station where people make suggestions for what they think should be in the game. Oh yeah, I talked about this, obviously, because I was invited on to talk about this show. So I talked about Super Hostile a little bit and the map series. Let's see here. Getting close. And let's see. It's always neat going down to Alabama, because the Welcome Center on Interstate 65 between Nashville and between 65 runs technically from like Nashville to Birmingham in that leg, but you take it to get to Huntsville as well. The rest area has this giant actual rocket from the space program. A lot of folks don't know this, but Huntsville is a huge rocket city. In fact, I think they call it that. Unlike Birmingham, which is the magic city, and I don't know why, because I've never seen a magician there, let alone any sort of actual wizard or school for wizards. I'm seriously almost out of cobblestone, and I'm not even there yet. I had like 4 or 5 stacks too. Dang it. But yeah, so anyway, Huntsville's neat because it's the city that the United States put all of our German rocket scientists we got after World War II, where we said, hey, you can work for us and not be prisoners forever. Wouldn't that be cool? And so anyway, there's a huge amount of NASA and engineering going on out there. And so they get cool stuff like, rockets in their rest areas. And let's see. Yeah, one of the most famous rocket scientists to come into Huntsville out of Germany is Werner von Braun, who appears in the film October Sky, which stars that Homer Hickam fella, based on the novel The Rocket Boys, also by Homer Hickam. And it's funny because he's remembered for all this stuff we're jumpstarting the American space program. But he was also, hugely involved in the German rocket program, which was not really manned space flight stuff, but like just things that were used to bomb the Brits during the Blitz, which was an unintentional rhyme because this is a very serious subject, and I didn't really mean to do that. But anyway, so there's one British comedian who joked when Werner von Braun's memoirs came out, entitled I Aim for the Sky. This British comedian fella, he suggested that the book should in fact be subtitled Though I Often Hit London. And it's just kind of weird how folks that are very talented intellectually, well, it's not weird, but it's unfortunate that folks who are talented intellectually can be exploited to create programs like that cause such devastation. And it's always kind of frightful how those things can go. Because, you hear about these folks that design this software for Wall Street firms and whatnot that does, these trading algorithms and everything that are super optimized. And then, and they're just doing it as a job. But before you know it, they've got these systems that are trading too fast for humans to keep up. And, everything's going all haywire, and prices are flying up and prices are flying down, and before you know it, they have to close the market and reopen later after they reset it. I mean, that's just, you shouldn't have to close the stock market for things like that. You should just, maybe try and ensure that there's human interaction throughout the process. Which, I mean, I know when you're trying to squeeze an extra penny out of every dollar that you don't necessarily have time for human interaction, but it's a shame seeing how crazy these things get. And the folks that make them, they're not necessarily bad folks, but, I mean, hell, IBM, I don't know if any of y'all have ever seen any of them Holocaust stories about folks that went through Auschwitz or other concentration camps in Germany, and them folks all get those tattoos with the numbers on them. Well, the numbers on them tattoos all went into computer systems that were designed by IBM. The American corporation, IBM. Okay. Whoa, okay. And that's just kind of weird and scary. So, clearly I enter the range of those spawners as soon as I step onto the taco.